So Manu is back, baby. I love this move from the Spurs. The Woj bomb went out. ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski's reported that Manu Ginobili is returning to the San Antonio Spurs as a special advisor to basketball operations. Ginobili will take on a player-centric role that is focused on the development of players on and off the court. I love it. I love it. Manu being back in the house and being an influence is awesome to me. Let me just go ahead and kind of like give you guys my initial thoughts. My thoughts right out of the gate was wow, perfect timing. What a perfect move. It's fitting for where the Spurs are right now in their rebuild that we're kind of going through, the retool that we're going through right now. I think Manu being in the house is a perfect fit. Now, let's kind of take it back a second. When Tim Duncan came into the fold, I thought that was really cool, but I've never seen Tim Duncan as being a coach or wanting to be around the game in that way. I just never really saw that as part of his future. So him being around was cool, but he's a big man. He came from a big man era. I mean, like, the game has really tailored away from the big man. So Tim Duncan coming into the fold really probably helped out guys like Jakob and Drew Ebanks and LaMarcus Aldridge, obviously, when he was here. But that's kind of old school in the way of where the game is now. And Tony Parker, let's talk about Tony Parker. Tony Parker is out doing amazing things. He has his own basketball team in France, Asbel. He's got businesses. He's like a businessman, dude. This guy is busy. Like Tony Parker is a busy guy, right? So to me, I never really thought Tony Parker would really have the time to commit to like the Spurs basketball at this point in his life, because he's just a very busy dude, right? And to commit to it a season and all that's a lot. It's a big commitment. So now let's talk about Manu. Manu, on the other hand, has just been like riding his bike like all over the world. I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram, but he's always riding his bike everywhere he goes. And it looks like he's just enjoying retirement, and he's enjoying being like a family man, being around his family, and he's enjoying this part of his life, right? And so there was continued reports. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more here. Adrian Woj went on to say that Greg Popovich, RC Buford, and GM Brian Wright have wanted the legendary star's involvement since his 2018 retirement and helped convince him of a role. Ginobili, 44, is a four-time champion and future Hall of Famer. So the Spurs have been wanting to get um Ginobili back in the fold. Now let me tell you why I think that's like a huge deal. I think Ginobili being back with the Spurs right now is perfect timing, because I don't know if you guys would agree with me out there. You guys can let me know in the chat if you agree. But the NBA now is basically what Ginobili was his whole career. Like I said earlier, Tim Duncan was the big man. That big man era it's kind of faded away. Tony Parker is kind of too busy doing other things. And point guard, Tony Parker wasn't really a shooting point guard. I mean, he had his mid-range jump shot that was wet, right? Wet. But other than that, he wasn't really a perimeter shooter. He'd hit some catch and shoot threes in the corner. But the game itself, the NBA game, has kind of tailored itself to the way that Manu played, with that perimeter on the wing player who's crafty at finishing around the rim, the Euro step. And Manu has been a great 3-point shooter his whole career, right? So Manu being in the fold now, to me, is huge. It's huge because that's where the NBA is nowadays. The NBA is played on the perimeter the way Manu played on the perimeter. So I think if there's any of the big three to be involved right now with the team, it's Manu. It's a perfect fit. It's perfect timing, right? And so now here's what I like about Manu being involved. Now let's kind of scroll up here and talk about the role here for a second. He's going to be a special advisor to basketball operations on a player-centric role that's focused on the development of the players on and off the court. So Manu isn't going to be on the sidelines. He's not going to be, on a game-to-game basis there with the team. He probably will not go on road trips, if you're asking me. Now he'll probably be as involved as he wants to be. But if I'm Manu and you're trying to come back into the game slowly, but still make time for your family and retirement, then you don't want to be a coach. You definitely don't want to be a coach, because being a coach, it's a lot of sacrifice away from your family and all that. So I think him being around in the gym, having a specific role on working with our perimeter guys, I think that's great, because what Manu brings to the table is a winning mentality. Manu is a winner. There was a stat out there that he won like 72% of all NBA games that he played in, right? And it's like one of the highest in NBA history. Manu is a winner, gold medalist, European champion, NBA four-time NBA champion, all-star. This guy wins basketball games. And honestly, that's what our team is missing. That's what this young Spurs team is missing. They're missing that know how to control a game from start to end and dominate it and close out games, knowing how to do that the right way. I mean, guys, I loved watching Manu play. I loved it when the ball was in his hands late fourth quarter, overtime, pick and roll with Tim Duncan. You know, he was going to make the right play. He's a winner. He's going to either score, make the dime, pass it off to Timmy, whatever, execute the play, whatever it is, he's going to do it. He's a winner. And the lack of identity that our young guys have right now, I feel it's because they don't have that yet. They don't have that battle tested mentality yet, because they haven't really had that opportunity yet. But they need guidance. They are young guys. They need guidance on how to close out games, how to be a winner, how to play winning basketball with the ball in your hands on the perimeter, making good decisions, having that dead eye mentality, that mentality like that Manu brought to the table. Is I've always ranked Manu as like top 3 shooting guards of all time. It's like MJ, Kobe, Manu, Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, top 4. And that's just in my opinion, because no one competes like Manu. And our young guys need that competition instilled in them, because I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and then she was like, good. I was telling her the same thing I'm telling you guys right now. She was like, good, because when you're watching our young guys play, they're just like out there running around. It doesn't look like they're really, like they don't have no rhyme or reason or competitive drive or edge dog in them to want to just like blow teams out. And she's right. My wife doesn't know much about basketball, but she's right. Our young guys kind of have that. They don't have that sense of direction and like that that understanding. They don't have that understanding yet. So Manu coming to the table only elevates the quality of competitive nature that our perimeter guys are going to play. And my last point to Manu coming in right now is that this is such a perfect time for Manu to be around our team, because our team, our investment in our draft players, they're all guards. They're all guards. Derek, DeJounte, Lonnie Walker, Trey Jones, our new pick, Joshua Primo, um, Devin Vassell, like all these guys that we've been drafting, they're all guard players. Even Keldon has a lot of Manu in him, right? Keldon has a lot of Manu in his transition game, right? So I mean, like, there's a lot of positive that Manu can bring to the table, implementing this roster right here. This roster right here. Not only that, but Doug McDermott is probably like over the moon right now, because he's been a longtime Spurs fan. And dude, like Manu and Doug McDermott, like teach Manu teaching Doug how to get open and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Right now, our roster is so perimeter heavy. It's the perfect time to get Manu, who's one of the best perimeter guards of all time, to be just around our players on and off the court. So off the court, I think he's going to help mentor these guys. Patty Mills talked a lot about Manu being a great mentor towards him, and I think what from my understanding of Manu and learning about Manu over the years is that Manu is a bigger than basketball guy. He has bigger interests than just the game. And that's kind of throughout, the whole organization. We have that mentality that life is bigger than basketball. And at the end of the day, you win, you lose, you go home to your family and you worry about your family, you take care of your family. Like, life's bigger than the game. And I think Manu needs to kind of um preach that on a day-to-day basis with our young guys, because they're probably really stressed out. They probably have high expectations for themselves. during the season, going through the ups and downs. How do you deal with that? And I think Manu can help with that. You know what I'm saying? So on and off the court, it's a beautiful thing that Manu's back in the gym. I love it, man. It's perfect timing. Manu Ginobili is one of my favorite players of all time. Um, dude, him being around just in the gym, working out, probably having one-on-one sessions with the guys and on and off the court sessions, maybe like that in that advisor role, right? It's nothing but positive for our organization at this current point in time.